Greetings all, Trick Rick here to narrate this video. What you're about to see in a few minutes is one of the coolest pieces of motorcycle history ever. And I want to show you first that this bike is owned by the world famous ice cream man from hell, my buddy Jimmy. And the bike is featured on page 225 of his book entitled You're Next. There it is right here. Let me hold it up. Zoom in on this. Okay, you got it? Good. The bike is a 1973 Moto-Guzzi Eldorado 850 chopper. There it is. Purchased new in 1973, torn apart and built into the custom that you see. It took about 2 years to do with a price tag of about $12,000 back then. Who knows what that would be now. Came out of the Midwest somewhere. Allegedly a guy named Frank built it for his wife because she wanted a chopper, and she didn't like it, so Frank rode it for quite a while. And then in 1994 Jimmy Ice Cream was at an event somewhere in the Midwest. This bike rolled in. Jimmy had to have it, and he acquired it from Frank and has had it ever since. It is currently in my caretaking and upkeep, sitting in the living room so it won't corrode anymore. What you see is mostly original from day one. That's the original orange pearl paint. It's got a pearl dust on top of the orange that you can see in the sunlight if we get close enough. And it's actually in pretty good shape. It's been touched up in a few places. It's all the original chrome. I think all that was kept original from the original bike was the speedometer. And you can see that it has, get in there, 7,500 original miles on it. So this engine is fresh. If you know Guzzi engines, they go forever. So they kept the speedometer, the rear shocks, I believe, probably the rear wheel, and it's a Barani rear wheel. And those wheels are aluminum, by the way, and they polish up like chrome. Front wheel's an Acron with an internal hub brake, and it works. And it's probably about all they kept. The swing arm has been lengthened considerably. Don't know how much, but it's surely not stock. It's really long. Gee, what else? Crazy, isn't it? So pretty much everything else on this bike is custom. A couple of bits have been reworked and replaced throughout the years. Electrical has been upgraded a little bit. The original mirrors were shot, so I put these on. I reworked the shift and brake linkage a little bit because the original stuff was just not usable. A lot more ergonomically friendly now. She's got a pretty fresh battery in her, and she starts right up and she runs absolutely beautiful. There's a cool story about this bike. Back when Jimmy bought the bike in 94-ish, and he was living up in North Jersey at the time, brought the bike into New York City and got with Indian Larry, who was a good friend of Jimmy's, and they were at a convention center, Jacob Javits Convention Center, for a show. And Jimmy had the bike in there. Larry had some of his bikes, and his crew was there from Psycho Cycles. Larry takes one look at this bike, walks around it like I'm doing right now, scratches his head, maybe scratched his ass too, who knows. Sat down on this seat right here, grabbed the bars, looked up at Jimmy and said, "What are you going to do with this fucking thing? Start delivering pizzas?" True story, and Jimmy will tell you that story. So here's an ICMFH sticker I put on here. And if you don't know who Jimmy Ice Cream Man from Hell is, I suggest you jump on his website, have a look around, and contact him. He's a very, very cool guy. He's one of the last of the old school biker icons who's actually still alive, circa Indian Larry, Ed Roth, Big Daddy Rat, all those guys. So anyway, let's get over here and start this puppy up. No key, switch under here. Yeah, turn the gas on, dummy, there you go. There are baffles in the exhaust, they're not much though. She shakes a little bit because she's solid mounted, and this old engine has no counterbalancer, so she's got a nice, you can see that nice vibration to her. Perfect. So there you have it. It's going to take a very specific new owner to get his hands on this bike and do it justice and keep it the way it needs to be kept and preserved as the wicked cool piece of iconic motorcycling history that it is. Good luck.